Being here today in support of women's reproductive rights. And I'd like to invite all our Planned Parenthood staff members to stand up for a minute just so we can say thank you.
Bravo! Bravo!
There is only one person that should be making decisions about a woman's reproductive health, and that's the women themselves. And they should do so if they should like in consultation with their partner and their spiritual or religious advisor. But the government has no place stepping in between a woman and her doctor to make these decisions, and we need to get them out of the exam room here in America. So for a long time, since Roe v. Wade, we've depended on the courts across America to defend this constitutional right. But that day is ending. What we have seen over the past 3 decades is a deliberate strategy of the court being polarized towards a cultural divide, towards a divide that wants to take away the right of women to make these decisions. And now here we are at that point that I think many of us never thought we'd get that far, that a case is before the court right now, the Dobbs case, the case coming out of Mississippi, and the court may well make a decision to roll back Roe v. Wade or to take a big bite out of it. And that means we have to think very seriously and organize very boldly and aggressively to defend women's rights. And I want to make 2 core points on this. The first is that we have to defend the ballot box all across America from the tremendous corruption that's happened in 19 states with some 30-plus laws over the last 2 months to try to keep targeted groups of Americans from voting. We have to defend the ballot box for every single American in defense of women's reproductive rights. And that means passing the For the People Act, which is now the Freedom to Vote Act in the Senate. It is so important. It takes on the gerrymandering that affects the House of Representatives, where my colleagues serve. There is an effort by my Republican colleagues to produce what they call gerrymandering on steroids, which instead of the bias that exists now in favor of the party of the powerful, the party that wants to strip reproductive rights, they want to go to put this and basically double the attack on equal representation. Let's stand up for equal representation and make sure the House of Representatives is not gerrymandered. And that same bill will have all those provisions to take on those 19 states and 30-plus laws that are trying to block the ballot box. And it builds on the good work done here in Oregon in terms of things like vote by mail. And I know Ron has been a champion nationally for vote by mail and paper ballots and integrity in the Senate, and I'm a full partner with him on all of those provisions, which all are incorporated into the Freedom to Vote Act. So the second point I really wanted to drive home is that the Senate controls the courts. And therefore, and in that sense, I'm saying in terms of the nomination confirmation process, it is so important that we have a robust majority in the Senate which can proceed to actually act on the issues facing America, to pass the Women's Health Protection Act. And we need to do it now. So this act prohibits bans on abortion prior to viability, basically codifying Roe v. Wade. It requires doctors to provide medically accurate information to women seeking abortion. It limits restrictions on access to medication abortion in early pregnancy. And it prohibits the state-mandated procedures or protocols such as mandatory ultrasounds or waiting periods prior to receiving care. It defends the reproductive rights of women across America. Now, how are we going to get this passed in the Senate? We have 47 sponsors. We need 50 and a vice president. We need a few more. But we also have to fix the filibuster so there cannot be a minority veto by Mitch McConnell and his colleagues as there is on every policy issue today. That has to end. And it needs to end so we can pass the Voting Rights Act, so we can pass the Women's Health Protection Act, so that we can respond to all of the big issues facing America. But Ron and I are fully committed in this fight to save the Senate, so the Senate can partner with the House and my colleagues to save America and save our rights. And we will